GetRefunds.com. GetRefunds.com.
Widespread racism against the Asian American and Pacific Islander community is a serious and devastating issue that is impacting the lives of millions every day. It's up to all of us to stand up, speak out, and put an end to this racism. Stop AAPI Hate is a national coalition that tracks incidents of hate and discrimination against the AAPI community across the United States. To report a hate incident or to learn more about what you can do to help, visit stopaapihate.org now.
Portions of the following program will be recorded.
Do you think we've gone away from the defund police movement? You haven't heard much about that lately, have you? Now the crime is going up, and we know, statistically, more cops on the street, less crime.
Bill Handel.
That's it. Mornings from 6 to 10
on KFI.
Little louder. Stupidest song ever. Yeah, I love it. KFI AM 640 live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. Does it still kind of weird anybody else out when they see the band now as adults married with kids? It still weirds me out. In my head, they're still 10 and 13 and 14. I don't know, whatever. Still a great song. KFI AM 640 live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. I'm Jennifer Jones-Lee, and some of the stories we're watching in the KFI 24-hour newsroom. 5 families have sued SoCal Edison, claiming a fire in Laguna Niguel that damaged or destroyed 31 homes could have been prevented. SoCal Edison declined to comment. An official cause has not yet been given. Finland and Sweden have applied for membership in NATO, but Turkey says it will not agree to let them join. Earlier this week, Turkey accused Finland and Sweden of harboring people the country views as terrorists. All right, let's get into your biz bites this morning. I'm going to start with the bad news. First off, I just checked the average price of a gallon of unleaded gas in California. You even want to take a guess what it was? Let me see. What was it yesterday? I think it was $6. Yesterday, the price of a gallon of gas in California was $6.01. Today, it is $6.06. And the story I was just reading was like, here, I will read it verbatim. Drivers are paying the highest gas prices ever for the 9th day in a row. AAA reports the national average price for regular is up another 2 cents to $4.58 a gallon. Oh, shut up! That's what went through my mind. Kansas has the lowest statewide average at $4.04 a gallon. And here's the best part. This is the actual line in the story. And the misery just keeps getting worse for drivers in California, where the statewide average is now up to $6.06 a gallon. Yes, it does, writer. From the duh file, it sucks to fill up your tank. Tyler, you just said you've got to fill up. How much does it cost you to fill up your tank in your car?
Last few times it's averaged around $60.
And don't you have an electric car, or don't you have a...
I have a mini SUV.
That's okay. Oh, so $60 for a mini SUV.
Like 10 and a half, 11 gallons, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so let's take that. Let's take somebody who's driving an F-150. They're driving, so what, 17 gallons-ish?
I'd probably double that number, yeah.
Yeah.
They're probably paying well over $100.
Every time. I mean, I know for my truck, it's usually right at that 100. And I'm in a Chevy Colorado, so that's smaller than an F-150. But all those people who I drive into work with, all the construction workers on the road, it's a lot of trucks on the road in the mornings, I noticed. And so all of us, and a lot of times I'm commuting in with people from Rancho to Burbank, so we've got, 40-plus mile drives, and we're filling up every few days because of our commutes. And that's adding up fast. Tyler, you were joking about having to get a credit line or get a new credit card just for gas. But honestly, I don't think you're that far out of the realm of what some people are probably thinking.
I'm surprised gas credit cards don't already exist.
I think they should. Can't you get some of them at like a Shell station or something like that? I think you can.
Maybe. Yeah. You're probably right.
And honestly, I bet a lot more people are applying. Ooh, good story. Let's follow up on that one. Are people getting gas?
I know that Shell's offering per gallon discounts if you have a phone number registered with moms or something. I'm not entirely sure. I know that there's a per gallon discount.
Per gallon discount. You're right. Oh, I bet people are snapping those up right now. Hey, when it comes to the stock market today, I'm definitely going to be keeping an eye on this because it was down 1,100 points when it closed yesterday, which is the biggest drop we've seen in the Dow in 2 years. And yesterday we were watching some of the quarterly reports from Walmart and Target. Huge. Both of those down big. Walmart, I know, says that some of its price-sensitive customers are beginning to trade down to more private label brands. Home Depot, though, on the other hand, and Lowe's, they had good shows. But it was Target. Target stock dropped by almost 25% yesterday after it talked about how its growth was going down. And it's blaming gas prices, like we were just talking about. Not as many people going to the stores, and those who do are doing it a lot less frequently than they used to. And I teased this with Nick Pagliocchini. Disney has released a new LGBTQ line of clothing for kids, and this is during the company's feud with Republican Governor Ron DeSantis in the state's new parental rights law. But the clothing line features rainbow pride flags printed on t-shirts, baby clothes, bracelets, sweaters, socks, backpacks, and other items. And items listed for sale on the Disney new LGBTQ-themed clothing line now. I think if you can look, obviously, when you go to Disneyland and check it out, but I'm sure if you do a Google search, you can find it there as well. This is KFI and KOST HD2 Los Angeles. Let's get a look at your drive from Nick Pagliocchini.
100% of those proceeds are going to be donated to charities, which is the first time for Disney as well, to add to the story there, Jen.
Good point. I forgot about that. That's right.
Yeah. So it's the first time, because usually it's between 10 and 20%. This time it's 100% of the proceeds are being donated to LGBTQ AI plus charities. So kind of exciting, not to take the wind out of it, but check out the drive in Westminster. It says crash for you on the southbound side of the 405 before Bolsa. Looks like it's the right lane that's taken away. This is going to be right around the Westminster Mall area. And you're going to see a rough ride on the 405 southbound as you come away from about Westminster Boulevard. Thanks for the heads up about this from Robert on the KFI traffic tip line. Pound 250 on your cell phone. Keyword is KFI traffic as you make your way through the Riverside area. A slight improvement on this ongoing issue in the Riverside. 215 north past Columbia. It was all northbound lane shut down due to a fatality crash investigation and a car fire. The far right lane has reopened, although your drive is really a mess as you're making your way northbound along the 215 in heavy stretches. From as far back as, well, it looks like the Ramona Arcalco Expressway as you come out of the Paris area. KFI and Sky helps get you there faster. I'm Nick Pagliocchini.
Accidents happen. Maybe you, maybe a friend. If you're involved in a car accident, don't go it alone and do not expect insurance companies to be fair. They're protecting their profits and their stockholders. You need a lawyer. You need a good lawyer. You need my friend Sweet James, the dense beard of justice and his team of accident attorneys. Sweet James is a good guy and a great attorney, and he does not charge you anything unless you get paid. Car accidents, motorcycle accidents, slip and fall, any kind of accident, you need Sweet James accident attorneys. If you get in an accident, don't even think about doing it on your own. That's a fool's errand. Your insurance company will not be fair with you. Call Sweet James at 800-500-5200. He will protect you. Put the number on your cell, 800-500-5200, 800-500-5200, or sweetjames.com.
Tim's taxes were an unbelievably tangled mess. The IRS just wouldn't work with me. Then Optima got involved, and I mean they really got involved. Optima Tax Relief is A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, and they've resolved over $1 billion for their clients. It's like having two lives, the one before Optima Tax and the one after. Do what Tim did. Call Optima now for a free consultation. Call 800-783-8055. 800-783-8055.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
This is Nick Alexander from Alexander BMW. Come down and find out what makes the wholesale district special. We have the highest rated customer satisfaction and the lowest overhead in all of Southern California. Call 800-800-NICK. And remember, Nick can't say no.
Termites? Even maybe. Call Pacific Coast Termite for a free home inspection. Call 800-PACIFIC, PacificCoastTermite.com.
Pacific Coast Termite kills termites
The clean, friendly way.
I'm Susan Owen. If you've been injured in any way, call us at 888-OPO-WINS.
SoCal weather from KFI. Looks like it's going to be a mostly sunny day ahead, but much cooler than yesterday, and tomorrow will be even cooler than today. Fact is, we head into the weekend, highs are just going to be in the 60s and 70s. We'll warm it back up into the 80s and 90s the first part of next week. We lead local, live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. I'm Jennifer Jones-Lee. This has been your wake-up call. Handle on the News starts now.
Handle on the News. Handle on the News. And now, here's Bill Handel.
And good morning. Excuse me, a little froggy this morning. It is Thursday, May 19th. Bill Handel here with the morning crowd. Quick hello, Jennifer. Good morning.
Good morning, Handel.
Wayne Resnick.
What's the problem with your voice today?
Nothing. I just had a little bit of, Kodak phlegm in there. Just a little bit. Alex, good morning. Exactly.
Good morning.
Alex is now practicing her sign language. And good morning, Tyler.
Good morning, Bill.
All right, we're on our way as we continue on Thursday morning. Week is flying by. Well, what's new? Oh, first of all, real quickly, what are the Dow futures? Jennifer, I haven't been able to see.
They are down 350. S&P futures are down 42. NASDAQ futures are down 115. And the average price of a gallon of unleaded gas in California today is $6.06 a gallon.
It's gone up a couple of cents since yesterday.
Yes, it was 601 yesterday.
And now it's
606.
60. I know it's gone up a nickel since yesterday.
Yes. And I was actually telling the wake-up call listeners, I was reading the story and I wanted to punch the writer in the face because they said, oh, so gas prices are even harder for everybody across the country. The national average today is $4.58.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Yeah, yesterday I did the story that, and it stunned me that gas in Europe is cheaper than here. What does that tell you?
We're going to Europe.
We're going to Europe. And the fun place, you go to Caracas, Venezuela, the cheapest gas in the world, because it's a socialist, totally corrupt government. That is, everything is subsidized by the government. Gas, and it produces gasoline. It produces its oil, although that's falling apart. 12 cents a gallon for gasoline.
Going to Venezuela.
Going to Venezuela.
Woo!
Yeah, and on your way. All right. I can't believe gas price. It went up a nickel. It's been, I don't know, $1 since last month. Give it another, if you look at the numbers going up, you look at a graph, probably by, I would guess, September, October, I think if you extrapolate, gas will be about $43, $44 a gallon. It is not looking good. All right, guys, let's do it. Handle on the News on a Thursday morning. Jennifer, Wayne, and me. Lead story. Well, in light of that racist mass shooting in Buffalo, New York, last Saturday, the House last night passed a domestic terrorism bill to counter domestic terror, racist domestic terror. And they're trying to figure out this bill that passed last night is also known as the Barn Door Act that passed along party lines, as a matter of fact.
Yes,
and,
the Republicans don't want to stop terrorism.
Well, I don't think
kidding.
it's quite that.
That's not what I mean. But it's a stupid political divide because, first of all this thing does is it requires the three big government agencies to have specific offices for domestic terrorism and then get together for a joint agency task force on domestic terrorism and then create some reports every year.
What you
That's
just
what it
said
basically requires.
Terrifies me because all I heard was red tape, red tape, red tape.
Mm-hmm. And
now
that's
there are
exactly
three
that's
more
the Republican
agencies,
position.
and then a task force, and then a report, and then we can maybe see some action.
Now my question is there something being done so they talk to each other more and share info, or is that already in place?
Well, that's what the task force is supposed to do, but we can go back to 9/11 and see how these agencies don't necessarily like to share their information.
That was prior to 9/11, and then immediately, at least there were moves to change it, where the FBI didn't talk to the CIA.
But there's still systemic reluctance. And this bill doesn't really, I mean, you can never actually force these agencies to be 100%
no, of course
candid,
not.
transparent, and forthcoming with each other.
Yeah.
And the Republicans don't like it because they say it's focused too much on white supremacists and Nazis and not enough on Antifa.
Yes, the Antifa, those bastard, and that's where our real terrorism comes.
all those left-wing guys shooting up places constantly?
Yeah,
Louisville does nothing about that.
that's true. Because those people are as dangerous as white supremacists.
They are if they're at that level, and there have been. It's not that
There
there's
are, but it's not
never
systemic.
been.
But
It's about numbers. though.
yes, it is. If you look at what's out there on websites and the chatter and the demonstrations, it's not even close. That's not to say there are, as you said, Antifa people out there, but the numbers don't even begin to compare.
All right, you need to follow the travel bouncing ball on this one. President Biden is going on a 6-day trip to South Korea. He's also going to Japan, and he's trying to build rapport with the nation's leaders of those two nations, obviously. But while he's there, this is going to send a message to China about Russia's invasion of Ukraine. And hey, Beijing, maybe you should stand down when it comes to your saber rattling in the Pacific. Just like, hey, we're going to beef up our relationship with South Korea and Japan. So China, just a heads up, you've seen what Russia's doing and how things aren't going well there. Don't you try and do what they're doing.
Yeah, not even close, by the way. Not even close. First of all, China has a far more sophisticated and massive armed forces.
Than
starters.
Russia.
Than Russia ever will.
Yeah.
And you really don't have a NATO. I mean, there is, I think it's CETO that is somewhat like NATO. But, again, that one isn't even close. We're talking about proven Russian aggression and the Chinese, quote, aggression tactics. They're claiming the South Seas, the China South Seas. Of course, they've always claimed Taiwan. There are some islands in the South Sea that didn't used to be islands, that are Chinese man-made islands. But when you look at that versus NATO, where you have all of these countries that are on the border of Russia, and what Russia is doing, it's not even close. However, I think it's still a legitimate statement and position that he is taking. But I think to compare the two is not even. The two don't match in terms of seriousness. So,
hey, by the way, the president now is meeting with the Swedish prime minister and the Finnish president at the White House right now. And, of course, it's all over their applications to join NATO. And Turkey, as of right now, says not going to happen.
And they're serving... Turkey says it's not going to happen.
Turkey says it's not going to happen.
And everybody else is saying it will happen. All the other leaders. All right, we'll take a break, come back. Meatballs, by the way, being served. All right, let's check in with Jennifer Jones-Lee live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom.
As we talked about, the House has passed legislation that would devote more federal resources to preventing domestic terrorism. The move's in response to the racist mass shooting in Buffalo. Britain's frozen the assets of 3 Russian airlines, stopping them from selling landing slots at airports in Britain that are worth up to $62 million. The new sanctions are over Russia's war on Ukraine. And a popular chicken chain is considering raising its own birds to save money. Wingstop says it's considering becoming its own chicken supplier to address supply chain issues. We've got to look at your drive on the 215 in just a moment.
If you bought or leased a car after 2015 and you've gone repeatedly back for repairs to no avail, you may have a lemon on your hands, and this is where the Knight Law Group comes in. They can help you get rid of your lemon and get your money back, and you pay nothing out of pocket. Call the Knight Law Group for a free consultation and high-end representation. This is what they do. Call 844-43-LEMON, 844-43-LEMON. Visit knightlaw.com, Knight with a K, knightlaw.com.
From the driveway.com Weather Center, we've got a partly cloudy day ahead with highs just from the 60s to right at 80. This report is brought to you by 1-800-NO-COPS Criminal Defense. From the Southern California Toyota Dealers Traffic Center, let's go places like the 215.
The slightest improvement for the drive on the northbound side as you make way past Columbia in Riverside. It is the far right lane that has reopened. This is an ongoing fatality crash and car fire investigation underway for your drive again, 215 North past Columbia. You're seeing a rough ride on the 215 North as you come away from Eucalyptus, getting out of Moreno Valley. Also packed in tight for your drive out of Riverside from 14th onto the 215 North, and seeing a slow-going drive for you on the southbound side of the 215 as you come out of Colton and Grand Terrace from as far back as Barton Road. 215 North itself, even patchy delays for you overall from as far back as the Cajalco-Ramona Expressway. KFI in the Sky helps get you there faster. I'm Nick Poliokini.
I'm attorney Darren Kavanoki from 1-800-NO-CUFFS. Can you do the alphabet backwards? Z, Y, X, W, V. Yeah, try doing that by the side of the road. So if you get pulled over, don't wing it. Call us at 1-800-NO-CUFFS.
This report is sponsored by Vanguard University, inspiring world leaders for over a century. U.S. News and World Report ranks Vanguard as a first-tier university in the West. Earn your bachelor's, master's, or nursing degree in Costa Mesa, Santa Ana, or online. Orange County's faith-based university has been inspiring world leaders for over a century. Visit vanguard.edu to learn more.
On abortion and guns, the leading candidates for California Attorney General are very different. Eric Early is a conservative Republican, pro-Trump, pro-guns, and pro-life. Democrat Rob Bonta is fighting the NRA and supports abortion rights. If you care about Roe v. Wade, remember to vote early before the June 7th election for Attorney General. Ad paid for by Communities for Justice, supporting Rob Bonta for Attorney General 2022. Committee major funding from California Correctional Peace Officers Association. Not authorized by a candidate or committee controlled by a candidate.
Summer's almost here, so you Lowe's. Get your yard ready with their premium color mulch at their new low price of $2.98. Lowe's, home to any possibility. Valid 5/19 to 5/25. While supplies last. Selection varies by location. Excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
Hi, Tim Collins here from Collins Chevrolet, Costa Mesa. On Wednesday and Thursday, June 1st and 2nd, Collins Chevrolet is having a reveal party for the all-new 2023 Corvette Z06. You can see it and sit in America's true supercar at Collins Chevrolet. Find new roads at Collins Chevrolet.
The music of John Denver is like an old friend. Don't miss Take Me Home, the music of John Denver with Jim Curry and the La Morada Symphony. Friday, May 27th, 8 p.m. Ticket at LaMoradaTheater.com.
Has your business been the target of an ADA non-compliance lawsuit? Then there are two calls to make: your attorney and RCOR, the ADA compliance and certification experts. Go to ADAGurus.com, ADAGurus.com.
Imagine working in a hospital early in the pandemic that told its caregivers not to wear a mask. Imagine watching your son, who works there too, get so sick from COVID you feared he was going to die. Imagine watching another coworker lose his life to the virus. Imagine the hospital made $1 billion in profit last year, yet paid caregivers so little they have to work 2 or 3 jobs. And imagine the Leapfrog Group, an independent safety watchdog, found the hospital is below average for hospital-acquired infections in 5 of 6 categories. Eudice Cruz doesn't have to imagine. She works at Cedars-Sinai Medical Center, where unfair labor practices and corporate greed are putting workers and patients at risk. That's why she and her coworkers are sounding the alarm. It's time for Cedars-Sinai to prioritize patient safety, invest in workers, and bargain in good faith. Paid for by FEIU, United Healthcare Workers West.
One of the headlines says, Newsom goes scorched earth. He's trying to say, look at me. I'm your guy.
Right? I'm Biden, senile Kamala Harris is a fool. I'm the man.
Yeah.
Talk about 2024 here.
Right. I'm not a fool.
John and Ken.
Weekdays at 2.
Right?
I'm more woke than you are.
On KFI.
KFI AM 640. Bill Handel here. Thursday morning, May 19th. Let's do it, guys. More Handel on the news. Jennifer, Wayne, and me.
And big announcement, this will be the last Bill Handel show for a while because the entire show is being converted into a baby formula production facility under President Biden's invocation of the Defense Production Act. Only part of that is true. The part that Biden has invoked the Defense Production Act in order to try to get baby formula produced, including he's authorizing the government to fly commercial airplanes out of the country to pick up ingredients for baby formula and fly them back here, thus bypassing normal distribution hiccups.
Yeah, it's what I'm going to do is a story I want to do at 7:20 about invoking the Defense Production Act. Really interesting stuff about how this started, the powers the president has, astounding powers that he has under the Defense Production Act. Man, he could shut down this show, for example. You were absolutely right. He could turn this studio into a studio. He literally can do anything he wants. I'm going to do that at 7:20, but it's all about baby formula, and it's all about doing something to speed up not only the production, but the raw materials that go into the production itself, the distribution, the importation of baby formula, which at this point is not allowed because these huge companies have tremendous lobbying powers. No foreign baby formula here. So I'll do more of that at 7:20.
We've talked a little bit about these liver illnesses, and they've been mysterious, and it's just been, maybe a couple of kids here, a couple of kids there. But now U.S. health officials are looking into more than 100 possible cases of this severe liver disease in kids, because now we've got 5 deaths, and about 24 states have reported now cases of this disease. And the CDC is putting out calls to doctors to be on the lookout for these surprising cases of hepatitis. This goes back to October when we started seeing this, and it seems to be in children under 10. And they say that the cause of the illness isn't clear. And I know at one time they were looking at, could it have something to do against vaccinations of COVID or lack thereof, that kind of thing in kids. But they're continuing to look. But we have had cases here in California.
Yeah, it's serious stuff. For the kids that were hospitalized, I think, 6 needed liver transplants?
It's bad.
Yeah, it is.